The U.S. 7th Fleet said the Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group concluded a 2-day Maritime Cooperative Activity, or MCA, with the Philippine Armed Forces. According to the Philippine military, the MCA was carried out near Palawan, which is the country's westernmost province, in waters in the South China Sea that fall within Manila's 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone. This was 2025's first maritime wargame between the U.S. and the Philippines. While the U.S. Navy deployed a U.S. carrier strike group led by the aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson and included USS Princeton and USS Sterett, the Philippine Navy deployed the BRP Antonio Luna, BRP Andres Bonifacio, 2 FA-50 fighter jets, and Philippine Air Force search and rescue assets. On January 17th, the joint US-Philippine naval assets carried out a communications check exercise, division tactics and officer of the watch maneuver, and a photo exercise. The activities continued on January 18th with dissimilar aircraft combat training. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how the U.S. sent a message to China with the Carl Vinson CSG exercise with Philippine forces in the South China Sea. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. China claims almost 90% of the South China Sea through its so-called 9-dash line map. It says that it has indisputable sovereignty over the sea, including the Taiwan Strait. In 2013, the Philippines government, led by then-President Benigno Aquino III, brought an arbitration case against China in the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague, Netherlands. On the 12th of July, 2016, the tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines. The landmark decision rejected China's assertion that it enjoys historic rights over the huge area of the South China Sea, encompassed by its so-called 9-dash line. China had argued that the tribunal had no jurisdiction in the matter and rejected the decision. It's important to note that several other countries, apart from the Philippines, which includes Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, have disputed Chinese assertions and have overlapping claims of their own. Countries like the US, Japan, India, and Australia have no claims but want freedom of navigation. In the last few months, China has been increasingly pressuring the Philippines with naval incursions in its exclusive economic zone. The world's largest Coast Guard vessel, CCG 5901, a 12,000-ton ship dubbed the Monster, has been used by China to intimidate the Philippines. The tensions between the two countries have reached a sort of crescendo in the recent months. This 5th iteration of the MCA reinforced maritime cooperation and coordination, the Philippine military said, which mobilized 2 ships and 2 fighter aircraft for communication and maneuver exercises, as well as aircraft combat training. The MCA highlighted a long-standing partnership with its Philippine counterpart in the maritime domain, the U.S. 7th Fleet said, showcasing a collective commitment to strengthening cooperation in support of a free and open Indo-Pacific region. U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Michael Woj, commander of the Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group, said, "The U.S. and the Philippines are ironclad allies. As fellow maritime nations, we share the common goal of a free and open Indo-Pacific, assuring access to the seas." Philippine General Romeo Bronner Jr., the Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff, said, "This MCA is a crucial element of our continued efforts to strengthen defense cooperation. With each exercise, we become increasingly prepared and effective in addressing the challenges ahead." USS Carl Vinson CVN-70 is the third United States Navy Nimitz-class supercarrier and is named after Carl Vinson, a congressman from Georgia, in recognition of his contributions to the U.S. Navy. The ship was launched in 1980 and was commissioned on the 13th of March, 1982. It's been deployed in Operation Desert Strike, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Southern Watch, and Operation Enduring Freedom. USS Carl Vinson has a displacement of 100,000 tons and an overall length of 332.8 meters, or 1,092 feet. To give viewers a perspective, it's about 3 football fields long. Powered by 2 A4W nuclear reactors, the ship can reach a maximum speed of over 30 knots, or 56 kilometers per hour, and is capable of operating continuously for over 20 years without refueling, so it has unlimited range and endurance. USS Carl Vinson has long-range sensors that provide excellent situational awareness. The Vinson carries a flight group of more than 60 aircraft, including stealthy F-35C jet fighters. For self-defense, RIM-7 Sea Sparrow, Phalanx, and RIM-116 rolling airframe missiles. USS Princeton is a Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser, whereas USS Sterett is an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. These are multi-role warships capable of anti-aircraft warfare (AAW), anti-submarine warfare (ASW), and anti-surface warfare (ASUW). Amid growing Chinese aggression in the region, Washington has consistently emphasized its commitment to defending the Philippines, one of the oldest treaty allies in Asia, in the event of an attack. The US-Philippines exercises took place a day after U.S. Senator Marco Rubio, selected by President Donald Trump to head the State Department, cautioned Beijing against engaging in aggressive actions in the South China Sea. Rubio, during his confirmation hearing at the Senate, said, "The actions they're taking now are deeply destabilizing. They're forcing us to take counteractions because we have commitments to the Philippines and we have commitments to Taiwan that we intend to keep." He warned China to stop messing around with the Philippines and Taiwan. USS Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group is a frontline asset of the U.S. Navy, and deploying it in the South China Sea for exercises with the Philippines indicates that the U.S. is firm on its obligation, and the messaging is clear from China. It remains to be seen how things pan out in the coming days.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.